When I was 4 years old, we adopted our first dog from a shelter. His name was Tanker, and he was a yellow lab golden retriever mix. And he was just a dream dog come true. My brother and I had begged for a dog for years before that. Growing up, I had always just played with dog toys, watched dog movies, dog books, anything dog related. I was there for it. Growing up, one of my favorite shows was Pet Star, which was on Animal Planet, and every morning I'd watch that before school, and I always told myself, I'm gonna be on there one day. I'm gonna train my dog a really cool trick, and I'm gonna teach him it and audition and get on Pet Star. So I think that's kind of where my love of training dogs started, was just seeing all these cool things that people did on TV with dogs, and also, as well as Nintendogs also played a huge part in that. I remember the little agility course. I was thinking, that'd be fun to do in real life, so that's kind of how I got started in dog sports as well. The first agility trial that I did with TJ, he was probably just a little bit over a year old, so he was still pretty young. And I went in obviously thinking he was the best one out there, which was the mindset of a 14-year-old girl. And pretty much I had him sitting at the start line before he did the agility course, called him over the first jump. He cleared the first jump and then just took off running around the entire ring. Got major case of the zoomies. Nobody could catch him. He wouldn't come back to me. Judge couldn't catch him. It was quite the time. So especially looking back to where we are now, starting from there, I just remember obviously being mortified and hating everything after that happened, and I was thinking, he can never do this again, like, this was terrible, but then just being able to work through it, and once he got a little bit more maturity to him, he's been doing great. So our most successful competition was probably a dock diving trial back in 2016. It was a qualifier for the national championships, which are held in Orlando, Florida, and he surprisingly qualified by some miraculous reason. He just was feeling good and jumping far that day, and he qualified for nationals, and we were actually able to go to Orlando, Florida later that year to compete, which was a really cool experience. And even though he didn't place there or anything, I think being successful there, especially at a young age, I was probably 16 or 17 at the time, really helped encourage me and kind of showed me that I was doing something right, because I've never known what I wanted to do with my life. I didn't really know what my passion was. I knew I obviously loved dogs and dog training, but I wasn't sure how that could connect to a real world job. So being able to see that, hey, this work that I'm putting into my dogs is somewhat paying off, and not even just because we made it to nationals, but just having the bond between me and my dogs just is so great, and like, I love them, they love me, it's fantastic, and just seeing that helps me kind of helped me start to realize that was what I wanted to do. Spending years training my own dogs, I originally wanted to pursue a career in training dogs for movies, just kind of do like working with dogs behind the scenes, all that kind of stuff. So I actually went to a different college to start out with, and was majoring in film for a year. Found out that wasn't my cup of tea, that wasn't what I wanted to do with my life, and then I found out about the Texas Tech program, or the animal science program here at Texas Tech, and I transferred and started that program, and it's been incredible. It's opened so many doors, so many pathways. I've met some incredible people through it. One door actually is I learned about a national organization for service dogs called Canine Companions for Independence, and I'm a puppy raiser for them now. I'm currently raising my second puppy, and even through that, I've met amazing people, amazing graduates who have service dogs. I've learned more about service dog etiquette, learned more about different disabilities out there, and it's been all that through one decision of transfer to Tech. So I first learned about Canine Companions for Independence when I came to college here. I was put in contact with some other puppy raisers who were in the area, and through that I knew that was something I wanted to do, just because just serving a bigger purpose, rather than just training my own dogs. Being able to work with these dogs for a year and a half and be able to send them off to provide a lifeline to somebody with a disability and somebody in need was just an incredible opportunity that I couldn't pass up. And ever since then, I've absolutely fallen in love with it, and have so much passion for these dogs and these people. Through Canine Companions, I helped co-found a club on Texas Tech's campus called Yellow Caped Raiders. We're a student organization that raises puppies for Canine Companions, and since then we've grown quite a bit. The puppy that I raised for Canine Companions was named Blue. She was a yellow lab golden retriever cross. I got her when she was 8 weeks old, and I raised her until she was about 18 months old. through that time I was raising her, I taught her approximately 30 different commands that will be built on later in her professional training. But she also went on so many outings. She went to class with me, she went to movie theaters, stores, anything to kind of give that exposure and experience to her that would benefit her in her future. So this past May, I turned her into what they call professional training, where she spent another 6 months in Dallas, Texas, with professional trainers, and she was learning more advanced commands there. And it's been 6 months since I turned her in, and she's actually set to graduate in the beginning of November, so that's very exciting. I can't wait to meet her person and hopefully be able to keep in contact with them and see how she's doing. Family and friends have been so supportive along this whole dog training journey, especially my family growing up. Any dog event I went to, whether it was a trial or a training session, anything, my parents would always be there to support me. They'd always be there for a shoulder to cry on whenever something happened and I was very upset about it, anything like that. And a lot of my friends just think it's cool that I train dogs. My favorite part of training is probably just being able to build the bond that I have with my dogs, just being able to work with them one-on-one, develop a stronger bond, relationship with them, rather than them just being a pet that just, I feed him twice a day and walk him. Being able to have that connection, that extra connection with him has been a rewarding experience as well. So if I hadn't found my passion for training dogs, I honestly think my life would have been just a boring, bland life. I might have just been kind of like decided on a major, thrown into a major, and just been like, I guess I'll go with this, if it wasn't my true passion. And I truly believe just working with dogs has just brought like a new sense of purpose to my life and has brought me experiences, people, everything that's just carried on from the first time I got my dog to present day that I'll use for the rest of my life. I think dogs will always be a part of my life. I've been around them too long to ever get rid of them or give them up for anything. Even if my life went in a completely different direction 20, 30 years from now and I wasn't training anymore, I do think I'd still even just do training, just personal training my own dogs for fun, and at least always have a dog or two around because they're such incredible creatures and just make my life 100 times better. Our family dog, Tanker, he definitely taught me about responsibility and just kind of the overall basics of dog ownership, even at such a young age. And that was definitely something that I will carry on for the rest of my life. My second dog, TJ, which is this guy right here, he taught me he helped me, I guess, break out of my shell more, as cheesy as that sounds. Growing up, I was very shy, but going through him through dog sports like agility, dog diving, I got more comfortable talking to more people. Whenever people would ask about him, I'd get more comfortable talking about him, and he was just kind of that like social bridge between young, shy me and the person I've become now. My third dog, Blue, which was the first puppy that I raised for Canine Companions, she just taught me all about how hard it is to let something go, but how rewarding it is at the same time, and that can apply to other things other than just a dog. And then my last my most recent puppy that I'm raising, Waylon, he definitely taught me that you need to work through hard times. He was probably the most difficult puppy I've raised so far, just through little things. He's a lot better now, he's great, but just being able to persevere through hard times and that it'll all pay off in the end.